The Genesis G70.
What's up, everybody? 300 in the house. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing good. Um, yeah, so this is what I wanted to actually talk about. Um, I think a lot of people are um, underestimating the situation we are in. So, I mean, war is around the corner, and you guys need to understand. You guys need to understand that this is no joke. This is reality. Uh, I don't know how many people actually been in war or how many people have military experience, but anybody who served for their country, I would say, been in war and know what I'm talking about. Hey, what's up, Guru? How you doing? Good to see you. So, my question is, do you believe prepping is enough? Do you believe that just because you have prepped, you've done your job? Um, Now, I can tell you from my experience that prepping by itself is not enough because when so many people try to take your stuff, you're not able to defend yourself against so many people at the same time. Now, it can be it can be a civil war, it can be a world war. War is war, doesn't matter. So I would like to know what your guys' opinion is about this. Because I am not saying you particularly, but I have heard other people talking, and um, it seems like they are not aware what they are talking about. Um, that's that is the reason why I came live to talk about this. I would like to know: is that what you really believe? You believe because you have plenty of food and plenty of ammunition in your house that you are safe? Is that what you believe, or do you believe you do need some people on your side to uh, to protect you? Is prepping enough? It depends on what is meant by prepping. If you are self-reliant and you have, as of like mine, you're prepared for almost anything. True, preparation is much more in depth and holistic. Yeah, like I hear like from people um, that as long as they got some food in their house and what you call it, enough defense weapon in their home, they are fine. But I disagree with that. I don't think you are fine because it is kind of like what happened last year in California when 80 people robbed the entire mall. The same thing could happen to your home. So, what makes you think that you are safe? Uh, I I completely disagree with that. I don't think you are safe um, uh, unless you do have people on your side. That's a different story. But that is the reason why I keep saying, people need to get together. Um, you do need to have a community. You need to have people on your side. Anyone who is dependent on the corporate capitalism system is a sitting down. Yeah, and that's what most people believe. Like they think, oh, I don't have to worry, the, the system is gonna provide or do the job for me, but I doubt that. I don't think I don't think they care about you, point blank. Hey, what's up, Eric? Good to see you. So that's just the way I see it. For brother. See, like when uh, when our country, the country that I'm from, which is Iran, when the revolution started, there was no government giving giving a damn about any of the citizens, not at all. Everybody was on their own. Now, uh, either you were prepared or you had to take action in the last second. So that's a big difference. And I don't think, just prepping is enough. That is just my opinion about that. I do believe, even if you are prepared, um, that you have the basics that you need in order to survive. You still need people on your side. Just think about multiple. You are only a human being. You're not a robot. You're not invincible. We are all humans. We are all invincible at some point. So you do need to have some backup. Otherwise, the government would not send an entire army to a different country. They would just send one single person. Am I right or am I wrong? Yeah, and that's the problem here. A lot of people don't think that far. They just think, just because um, they've been prepping for months or years, that they have everything, that they don't need anybody. But they are wrong, in my opinion. We always need each other all the time. Um, when your car breaks down, what, you fixing it yourself? When your internet don't work, you're fixing it yourself. When you are sick, you're fixing yourself. No, you are dependent on the next person who has that particular skill, and that's why I believe, we are dependent on each other. Now, there are some people, they disagree with me. Hey, that's everybody got an opinion, but you know um, anybody anybody can think the way they want to. Because I have seen it with my own eyes. It's no, for no reason. Trust me. When it gets to that point, it's gonna get real ugly, and you're not gonna be able to defend yourself against so many people. Dude, we don't live on Hawaii. This is a huge country with a big population. And now forget the population, but there are always also enemies, which are mm, thousands of people. And how are you going to defend yourself against so many people? You do need people, point blank. And so far, people have ignored what I said or didn't take me serious. But I'm not here just to sit around and entertain people. I'm actually willing to take action. I'm willing to to build a community, but I cannot do it by myself. Only two hands together make the sound. You come halfway, I come halfway, and we can make things happen. That's the way I see it. But I don't know how the people out there are doing it, or they think they're gonna do it, or so. I really don't know. But time is ticking, and it's gonna be getting closer and closer to the um, you know to the point where SHGF going to happen. Find people you can cooperate with and enjoy that. Ignore the rest is what I do. Right. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have this two type of people. People who gonna agree to be on your side and rock with you, and you're gonna have people who don't. That's just bottom line. Anyway, how you been, Eric? How are you, my friend? Hope you're doing good. Hope your family is doing all right. Anyway, the link is up there. If you want to jump in the box, you're welcome to come up. It takes time to build a proper community. It doesn't happen overnight. Hang in there. Right, right. Exactly, Irishman. Good to see you, by the way. See now, for 3 years, I've been talking about this, and people being, I say, naive, maybe is the right word, naive and believe, that nothing could happen, and I can promise you one thing, okay? This country is not invincible, okay? Don't underestimate your enemy. That's all I can say. Uh, Anything is possible. Um, hey, what's up, Tom? Good to see you, hey, Pete, and everybody from wild, wonderful West Virginia. How you doing? Family is good. Thanks for asking. How's your man coming up? Yeah, well, I just moved here. I'm trying to settle down little by little. I lost my car, so working on getting getting a car. And as soon as I have a car, I am actually going back on that land and try to do something. I mean, it's not much I can do. I'm just a single person. That's a huge land we got, but I'm trying the best I can do. I'm totally well for an old guy. Thanks. I hope you are well. Thank you, Tom. I'm good. I'm good. Um, no, I just think things are actually we are actually heading to that direction. Um, Things are not getting better, unfortunately. I have not heard in the past 3 years anybody making a YouTube video saying, "Hey, you know what happened? Hey, uh, we got more jobs, or we got a raise, or uh, food prices went down, or gas prices are not that expensive anymore." No, but no. Instead, it's getting worse and worse, and I believe it haven't. It's not done yet. It's keep going. That's what I really believe. By the way, if any of you guys want to jump in the box, hey, the stream is right there. You can come up. Um, yeah, this is just the beginning. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? I hope, I, I hope, and I pray, okay, that it doesn't happen what I have seen in my own country, but I cannot just hope. Hope is not a guarantee. So, but all we can do is prepare ourselves as best as we can, and um, pray that it's not gonna hit us hard. That's all I can say. I mean, it's gonna hit us. That's for sure. If you like it or not, something is gonna happen pretty soon. It's going. They moving slowly forward. Action is based on hope. That's a good one, Tom. But I mean, um, things are getting very difficult lately. I can say, like things got expensive. People uh, can't afford buying anything anymore. They might have to get a second job in order to make it through the month, and things are not looking great actually, if you really think about it, especially for this country, I mean, this is one of the most powerful countries on this planet, and to get to this point is unbelievable in my opinion. Sure, sure, sure. Yeah, just email me. Just email me, and I'm going to see what I can do for you. Um, if you want your, yeah, just email me and we can talk about the details. If you want your name and everything on it, I can do that for you. I've met hundreds of people in our community, and only a small fraction would consider are serious, but they are out there. Try to meet up with people locally in your area. That's the start. Right, right. I mean, just gonna put it this way, Irishman. Um, I really don't know people here in Dallas, and it's kind of weird and strange to go to strangers and ask them that. Now I feel more comfortable with you guys because you guys are we guys we are talking about for a couple of years. We know each other for a little bit. That's a little bit different than just going on. Hey, are you a prepper? Hey, you want to join my group? They're gonna say, "What's wrong with you?" I've met hundreds of people in our community. Uh, there another option than capitalism corporate, just sheer cooperating. This is where the real meaning of freedom will begin to be understood. You can't have freedom when you are forced to pay to access that which you are entitled to access and provided for by nature for free. And those who understand it will weather any corporate storm, no matter how heavy the thunder. Those that don't better have some heavy rubber boots. Right. How to find your email? Oh, okay. Let me put it out here for you so you can. I took it off. Version prepper at gmail.com. Yeah, and by the way, if you have like any requests of has nothing to do with prepping. If you need anything designed, poster, banners, logos, T-shirts, hoodies, dresses, jackets, whatever, I'm your man. I can make it happen for you. Um, Try to get meetups and start with just getting to know them. No, let's do life together. Right. Yeah, I mean it's not easy, I'm running my channel now for 3 years, and I even offered free land to people. Nobody was interested. So, but that I will talk about this more on Friday, when we all get together. Yeah, I just get this feeling. I just get this feeling that for a lot of people, this is just entertainment. Not not Nobody's taking this very serious. Maybe a few, but not a lot of them. You know. And I mean, I have seen people just jumping from one channel to another, but what do they do? I mean, they really don't do anything. Um, it takes more just prepping. I mean, uh, if you have land, you need to build you something on your land. You need to prepare yourself and get ready for it. All right, all right, Tom. Don't forget, don't forget to come on Friday. Yeah, email me before Friday so I can actually send you the link. In order to jump in the box. I definitely see you Friday. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's gonna be a very exciting conversation, I believe. I mean, I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves. Tell them where they're coming from and what they do. What their background is, and then we get to the conversation so people can understand where they're coming from. You know what I mean? It took me a while, but persistence pays off. Be patient, and there is people I have met in these lives that know what they're doing, and some are beginners, and that okay, but you would be surprised. Right. Well, I guess you were lucky, Irishman, because in the past 3 years I haven't met not one single person who would say, hey, you know what, I'm down with you. Hey, let's make this happen. Hey, what's up, Nisara? How are you? Good to see you. I mean, things are things are not getting better. That's for sure. And you don't wanna end up in the situation where you are getting pushed to the edge and you have no more space to move around. You know what I mean? Have you gone to any event in person or just online? What you mean? What kind of events you talking about? I mean, I can tell you what I have done. I went on other people's live streams and offered what I did, and also I did offer it on my own channel, prepper related. No, I have not. No, only online. And I mean, not just on YouTube. I've been on several platforms. Um, but not with a lot of success. I for the most part, I believe this Irishman. Okay, I believe as long as people can make money, as long as they can keep the roof over their head, they are not going to do anything. And that's just how I feel about that. Now, uh, they will do, they will agree with some some ideas like that when they are desperate or when they have no more income, they have no money, they have no roof over their head. That's when I uh, can imagine that people would say, okay, I'm down with you or so. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. Yeah, the only person I met in the only person I met in person was actually Josh. Just Josh. So we met before I went on that land. Actually, but that's the only person I have met from YouTube. And he's a really nice guy. I really like him. He has a good heart. Because I mean, just think about it. Why would somebody just give up his place? Not saying his place, but why would he agree to go with somebody on some land when he still got income and a roof over his head? So that's not going to happen. I don't think so. Uh, there might be only a few they would consider that, but majority of the people wouldn't do that. Where you going?
Just store.
To buy cigarettes? Oh, okay.
You ain't packed?
Yeah, I'm smoking my last.
Anything else you need?
No, I'm good.
You want some ice?
Uh uh. No, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah. Ice for what?
Well, I eat ice, so.
No, I'm good.
Oh, one more my way to the
All
store.
right.
Back later.
All right. See you later.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Wife, you going to the store? Yeah, but I really believe that. And another thing I believe that it's a big issue for the people is people hunting for land right now, and most of them can't even afford buying land. I mean, they are they are hunting their ass off to find some some affordable land, and when it comes to land, I say, not every land is good land. Um, especially for the purpose that you're buying the land for. You wanna buy some land that you know that you have access to water, that you know you can um, grow food, and you know that you have like backups plan if it doesn't work out, that you have an escape plan and stuff like that. So I say, not every land is good land, you know, and then, you know, not every state provides the perfect land that you can grow food. I mean, there are people who live on the north side cold, in the colder part of the United States. They're not able to grow all kinds of food. Their growing is limited. Okay, I try to meet as many events as possible to get a feel for a person and to see what they know and their values. It takes more than one or two meetings, but it's a start point. Yeah, I agree with you, Irishman. That is so true. You can't just meet one person for one time and say and feel like, yeah, oh yeah, he's the right person. So definitely want to be selective on that, and again, diversity. Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is what happened to me. Okay, I know you are new on my channel, Guru, so that's why I'm gonna basically repeat myself. So I had people saying, okay, so what's your religion, or how long do I have to live on that land till I can claim it? Everybody got kind of weird questions, in my opinion. Instead of asking, okay, what do we do when this happens, and what do we do when that happens? But instead, they were just having a materialistic mind. I say, man, and then I didn't even uh, ask for any penny. Okay, I was not trying to, like uh, taking advantage of the situation thing. So I offered my land for free. All I was asking was, dude, you come on my land, we work together. We build cabins. We grow food together, and you got a roof over your head, and for in an emergency situation. But instead, they were just having these weird ass questions I mean, you don't think if I wanted to sell my land, you think I'm too stupid to sell my land? I don't need you for that. If I want to sell my land, I sell my land. But um, that was not the point. Yeah, and or people have said, oh, okay, when the shit hit the fan, I just come with my RV, and so, man, all that sounds like lazy people. They don't want to do anything. That's like they waiting for me to build a resort for them or so. I'm like, hey, who do you think I am for you here? Hey, I'm just offering you to help. We basically helping each other. It's not that I'm just helping you. I help you, you help me. One hand wash the other. But unfortunately, that was not the case. Um, it is very important to select allies with great attachment and never get too attached. Again, nature is fluid. Right. And also, I was actually looking for, people with skills. Hey, just because you are willing to come, yeah, but what do you offer? What do you put on the table? Hey, I'm offering my land to you and my skills. What do you bring on the table? You see what I'm saying? So, and a lot of people, they were not really helpful in this case. I should say. And then I also heard, other people they renting their land or they selling part of their land in order for them to come or so. But I wasn't doing any of that. I said, hey, you come, we build something together, hey, and even if the shit at the fan is over, you can stay as long as you want. It's not like I'm trying to use you or anything like that. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, the material belongs to me. Are my trees that you cutting to build you a cabin with? And there is no better offer than that. Hey, how you doing, Irishman?
Hey man, what's up? How we doing tonight?
All right. I can't complain. Being busy working and designing stuff. Other than that, I'm doing okay.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to text with you, and I thought it would be just easier coming on and talking to you.
Right.
Sometimes it gets the message gets maybe twisted a little bit too.
Direction, yeah. I agree.
So I mean, it was an interesting conversation about the meeting up with people and stuff. I've been to throughout the years numerous events from different people online, and it helps. I mean, out of every event, you might meet one or two people, but hey, that's one or two people that you didn't know before,
Right. But I also think, that's just my opinion. I think just because you find somebody who is willing to come, that doesn't mean, that you have to be desperate and agree with it. Hey, it might be not the right people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do. It's just that, people, I know you online, but I don't know you in person. I'm sure you're a great guy, but until I know you and trust you and seen you on your bad day, your worst day, I don't want to go to somebody that I don't know. And I think a lot of people are a little bit cautious until, it's different when you meet people in person. You get a feel for them and you get to see what they're all about, what they know, what they don't know. Would I really want to be with that person if something bad happened? And that goes both ways. It's not me saying to you, but also you to me. You don't know me. You don't know what I know or what I'm about, So it takes time.
Yeah, I agree with you. Now, see, okay, I was a kid, okay? I cannot talk too much about it, but I was a kid when the revolution started in our country, when they start bombing and people start robbing stores and burning government facilities like embassies, banks, police stations, fire departments, stuff like that. My dad kind of was prepared. I don't know. He was already prepared for some reason. When that happened, he said it's time to go. So and we suddenly met with so many people that we didn't know. 20 million people were at the airport. Airport was shut down. Nobody could go anywhere. They didn't want people leave the country. So we had no other choice than going through the desert. So I was a kid, so I don't know. I don't have so much information about how he organized it and everything. But all I know is, that my father organized a lot of people, and I mean, I was a kid. I don't know them, but we did go together. And then after we entered the border to Turkey, everybody went to their own destiny. Some people stayed in Turkey, some people move to a different country or whatever. But what I mean by that is, they had only one goal, and their goal was freedom, and they did whatever it took. And I don't see, I don't see that, I don't see that type of energy that people have here. So many people are, I don't know. To me, it seems like a lot of people taking the stuff that we're talking about is like for them like entertainment sometimes. I don't, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
No, I agree with you. I try to get involved with as many people as I can, variety of different groups, and I'm into the preparedness community because of events that happened in my life. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Out of 1,000 people, you might get maybe 5 that are what you would consider serious. So that's why you have to go out to as many events, as many things as you can, and let people meet you, let them get to know you as well as vice versa, and it will
Right,
happen. It took me quite a few years to find a small group of people that I would trust, and I'm
right,
still working on it. I went out to Vision's event in Ohio, and good event. It was a good event. Um, there was a lot of people there. Some were beginners as far as the camping scene, but they were good in other areas, and that's okay too. Because you know what, my strengths, I'm not strong in every single component of survival of homesteading. I have
right,
weaknesses too, so I can learn from other people with their strengths. That's why I go out to these things. And as far
right.
as getting those people, eventually, if you keep on going to these things, you'll see people weed themselves out. And the only advice I can give you is coming from myself. There's not a person that you can name that I haven't met. As far as, well, I
Right,
shouldn't say that. I've
right,
met quite a few of them
right,
in our community, and you get to weed them out. You get to know who's who,
right.
who's the true people, and who's the fakers.
I mean, yeah, everybody got their strength and their weakness. So nobody is perfect. So yeah, of course you're gonna have some areas where you are very strong at, and some areas where you are weak or don't know anything about it. I agree with you, but but people just are not serious in my opinion. Like uh, for them, this is just that's, and I really mean this. I mean this 101%. For a lot of people, this is just like a TV show. They don't even take that serious. So and with me, I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. I'm damn serious about this. I mean, I have plenty of land. I have no reason to lie about. I even made a video. I even proved it to you guys. I have 70 acres of land. I live deep in the woods. I have access to water and everything. But I cannot do it by myself. So you do need to have people on your side. I mean, and like you said, it takes time to build. It's not happening overnight. And that's what some people don't understand. They think, oh, okay, she didn't defend. I just gonna pop up or so. It don't work like that. Just go ahead and build you a cabin by yourself. Look how long it's gonna take.
Very true. Very true. Um, you know what? I've been to several events with different people on YouTube Live, and you know what? When I go out to these events, I really don't know what to expect. But you hit on something. A lot of these people aren't serious. A lot of these people aren't. I don't know if you said skilled. Maybe that's just me interpreting it. But when I went out to these events, people that you see on the chats, you know what? They are serious. Not all of them, but some of them are. and some of them are very knowledgeable. Like I said, I was doing something at Visions event and putting up a sign, and there was a gentleman by the name of Dan H, and he was saying, "Oh, do it this way." And right there and then, I knew that he knew something about putting up tarps and ridgelines off a simple little test like that. And then when I started to talk to him a little bit more, he knew this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, oh, okay. And I met a couple other people from the chats that we see all the time. And yeah, like I said, it's just nice to meet people and see what they're all about. And like I said, I have strengths in certain areas, but in other areas I don't. So, you know, those are the people I want to really meet, because in those areas that I'm weak, I want to get better. I want to learn. I want to learn as much as I can. The problem is, you know, time. You can't learn everything. That's when your community comes in. It takes time to build the right community, the right people, the right skills.
Right.
So
And there is only one problem there, Irishman.
Okay.
You know, like you said, and like I mentioned that too, it takes time. That's something we don't have much of, you know. So that is the reason why I'm trying to hurry up to find the right people that you actually can start doing something. Because like I said earlier, it takes time to build stuff. It's not happening overnight. But another thing I wanted to tell you is, you know, I don't know what state you are in, but my people are pretty much in the biggest states, you know, like New York, California, Texas, Florida, Illinois. But if you ever meet another Persian dude, and he tell you his story, you will remember what I told you, because we all went through this, you know, and a lot of Persian people went through this, and they have a lot of experience in what they have seen in their lives, you know. So, and the issue that I'm seeing here is that a lot of American people have never seen anything like this before. They don't have experience. I mean, I understand you might be tough, or you might have some certain skills or so, but one thing you don't have is you never been in that situation, and that's the biggest issue. So as long as you never been in that situation, you will not know how to react. You know, like I always say, you know, unknown attack is hard to defend. You know, hey, if I don't have no experience, I really don't know what I'm doing at that moment, and that's the problem. You know.
let me start by saying this. I rather have 2 good people than 20 wrong people. That's the start.
Right.
And 2, and I don't take this the wrong way, but how do you know what I've experienced?
Well, I'm not saying what you have experienced or not. I'm just saying, like, this country have never been in a war situation. At least not this generation. Not talking about Pearl Harbor or so, you know, or World War II. I'm talking about people now. You know, they as civilian have never been in the front line in war or so. You know, so you don't know what you're supposed to do at this moment.
I totally agree with you. And I say that not to put you on the spot or anything, but like I said, you need to know people. You need to meet people. You'd be surprised about my background if you got to know me, about my family and their experiences, so on and so forth. So I didn't mean to be disrespectful there and kind of come out that way. I just wanted to say that, just hammer the point down. You definitely need to get out and meet people.
No, I was just saying that in general, you know, like the whole country, okay, United States of America. How many, and I'm not talking about military people with military background. I'm talking about a regular civilian, okay? So how many experience does he have when it comes to survival and war situations? I say 0.
I would agree with you.
I mean,
I would say very, very few people in this country have experienced hard times. And when I say that, you have people who don't have money, who had very few things growing up, stuff like that. I get that. I don't mean to be disrespectful for anybody in that category, but this
Right.
country has been very fortunate about what you're saying about wartime scenarios or hardships like maybe some other countries.
Well,
Now,
the only
my,
reason I'm saying that, Irishman, the only reason I'm saying that is because I've been in that situation. I have lost my home. I have lost some of my family members. I was forced. Well, I had no choice. I was a kid. My parents choose for me. It's not that I ran away from, but my parents choose to leave the country. So I have seen stuff in my life that nobody else have. That's why I'm saying, a lot of people in this country have are not really prepared for what is coming. Um, what happened? Uh, he just dropped. I hope you're still there. Oh, there you are.
I was wondering about the comments in this section. That's why I was trying to get to it, and I hit the wrong button. But
Oh, okay.
I do value your point of view, your experiences. That's important because I think it's important that you say it on the air because I don't, it's one thing to read about it. It's one thing to see it in the movies, but when you actually experience some of the things that you've been through, it doesn't really sink home to these people. So I understand what you're saying. But there are quite a few people that do take it serious in our community, and they're hard to come by. But I get you. I get what you're saying. I don't necessarily disagree with you with that, but there
Yeah.
are some. So don't give up because there are some. It takes time.
Yeah, no, I
Um,
don't. I don't give up. I mean, look, 3 years have passed, and I'm still here. I giving up is not an option for me, man. Especially for what I have lost in my life, and especially for how far I got in my life. Man, I have passed 12,000 miles that I made it till here. So giving up is not an option for me. Trust me. I'm not
good.
a not a quitter.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. If I was closer to you, a state or two away, I would definitely come and visit you and get to meet you and just have a conversation face to face.
What,
You know,
what what state are you in?
New York.
Oh, New York. Oh, okay, man. I used to live in New York.
Oh yeah, what part?
Spanish Harlem,
Okay.
113 West Street, West Broadway.
Okay. I know the area. I know the
Yeah,
area well. Have family there and throughout New York.
mm,
Um, I'm in the suburbs, and I got involved with this thing because of events that happened. One of them being 9/11, the
mhm.
Northeast blackout, Sandy, a whole bunch of things. Kind of, I can't say it was just one event, but the one common theme that I saw was when something bad happens, there's no, you know, good guys coming. You have to, make your own way. So it
Yeah,
kind of led me down that road where I learned a little bit about comms. I learned, then I started going out with survival, and I kind of started branching out. I'm still learning stuff, but it's a
right,
journey. It's not something that happens overnight.
right. I
I've
mean,
made a lot of progress, but I'm still learning.
right. I mean, you never stop learning. You learn every day something. Even if you don't think about it, you do learn something every day. Um, and it's nothing wrong with that. It's some people are, I don't know, I say, they are ignorant. They don't want to learn anything new. They think, what they know is enough. But my father taught me, you learn every day something new, even though if you don't realize it, but you do.
Unfortunately, people don't learn until something bad happens to them. And
Yeah,
look, I fall into that category. A couple things happened to me. I decided to do stuff. And let me point out something.
Mhm.
Years ago, if you had a generator, you were considered somebody who was crazy. Why do you need a generator? Blah 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 blah. Now they sell them all over the place. It's become accepted. So perception is changing slowly because of all these natural disasters, events that are happening. People are starting to wise up, and it's slow treading. But I think someday they'll get where we are.
Right. I'm glad you're bringing up disaster. We got right now, as we speak, um, power outages in California with 10,493, Texas with 121,266, Louisiana with 125,655, Mississippi with 47,394, and Florida with 11,348. Yeah, if you don't have a generator, you're gonna be in the blind spot right now.
Well, let me ask you a question, and I'm asking this based from my experiences.
Uh-huh.
Do you have a gas generator?
No,
Okay, you have propane or something else?
I have solar.
Oh, very good. Now, let me ask you a question. The reason why I said that is, let me start off. One, I lived during Sandy. I was without power for over 3 weeks and change. And if you had a gas generator, which a lot of people did, the problem was you couldn't get gasoline.
Yeah.
So I saw people with milk cartons because they couldn't get the containers, buy the containers for the gasoline. They're all sold out. Had that problem. So I learned something from that. That's why I mentioned it. So if anybody else is thinking about getting a generator, that might be, might go in the back of your mind. Hey, maybe I need one of those tri-generators, something where I have multiple choices. Now, let me ask you a question. I do have solar, not on a big scale, on a small scale for smaller things. Is your generator something that could power a fridge, a TV, an
No,
air conditioner?
I have a small one. I don't have a big one. I have a small one for now, but I'm planning to get me a bigger one, especially for that land. I'm going to need a big generator.
You know what? I mean, it's interesting that you're basically starting up a homestead. Have you looked into, instead of buying a generator, maybe hooking up huge panels into a battery bank, something like that, instead of going the route of
Yeah, well, that's
a smaller generator?
that's basically what I got. I got a battery. I got two solar panels. So that's basically what I mean. I got it from Josh. I didn't even have one first. But before I wanted to go on the land, and I do have COPD. I'm dependent on my machine sometimes.
Okay.
He mentioned to me, hey, you cannot just go without anything on your land. Hey, let's meet. I'm gonna give you that. And I'm like, oh wow, that's really nice of you.
That's
that's
awesome.
that's when I met him in person. So if you don't know Josh, just Josh on YouTube, he's a really nice guy.
I don't know him personally. I've seen him on events. But it's nice to hear a story about that because you don't hear stories about that. I mean, you can survive in your land without a generator, but it's not pleasant. Trust me, I've done that for a couple of days. Let me tell you something. Without running water and all the modern necessities that we have, you become quite cranky. Simple things that you take for granted, like running water, taking a shower. We grew up, I'm kind of a tweener. I think I'm about the same age as you are. We didn't have cell phones growing up, but you know what? Cell phones are a part of everybody's life now. So having a little juice to charge something up,
Right.
it makes life a little bit easier. Do I need the phone? No.
That is true.
But
Yeah.
it makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah, that's so true. And when I was a kid, they didn't have generators. Not that I know of. Maybe they were. I don't know how long generators exist, but when I was a kid, my grandparents have candles in their homes. When electricity shut down, they use candles. But that's a long time ago.
No, I hear you. My parents don't come from this country, and people are kind of surprised when you tell them the stories that you know my father didn't have any running water or a bathroom. They had to go outside, and they came to this country at a young age, and they've done well for themselves. When I say well, they're not rich or anything like that, but they made a good living, have a home, and people don't understand um, some of these other countries. They don't have the things we have. So I don't know what your upbringing was like as far as that, but my parents were poor in a different country. It was a way different lifestyle than it is here. So I understand when you're saying that people aren't serious because they've had it easy. So I get you.
Right. That is so true. I mean, uh, people don't believe that, but you're gonna realize it as soon as you be in that situation. That's when you're going to realize, oh yeah, I wish I had this, or I wish I had that. And that's why prepping is, our parents and grandparents didn't do that for no reason.
They had to. They
Yeah.
had to. And you know what's funny? I was out without power for 3.5 weeks.
Oh, damn.
Everything that we didn't have, I can guarantee you won't guess what I missed the most.
Mm.
A vacuum.
A
Because
vacuum.
we had a vacuum, believe it or not. I mean, we had everything down to a science at that point. Years prior, we lost power for a week. We lost power for 2 weeks, so on and so forth. And it wasn't until after Sandy that we decided to get a generator. So, I mean, but we learned how to, when the refrigerators go out, you keep them closed. You get out the coolers, you take all your meats, put them into the coolers, you eat those first. I mean, that's how you learn. That's how, you go through some of these hard times. And we were fortunate. It wasn't that cold. I had a kerosene heater, the old, the older ones, not the ones where you need electric. Was it warm in this house? No, but it wasn't. It was okay. You could wear a sweater and be fine. A lot of people were using their gas stoves and boiling water to keep warm, which it's until things happen, you don't realize how dependent you are on the grid and everything you need. So one
Yeah.
of my goals is to try to be. I love the grid. I'm going to stay on as long as I can, but when I have to, I want to have the means where I can get by without it.
Right. I think, I think then I say, this generation and the generation before, they've been too spoiled because the government has always provided their needs. But when it comes to things goes down to back in the days, where people were dependent on themselves, that's when you're gonna realize, damn, there are a lot of things that I'm missing. Um, how are you gonna keep yourself warm? How are you gonna boil some hot water in order to cook? And how are you gonna take a shower? There are a lot of things that in this society now is all provided. But when you're trying to go live on off grid, you're gonna realize, damn, there's a lot of stuff. I have to think of how I'm gonna take care of all that stuff.
Absolutely,
The
absolutely.
tool, but like all tools, if you depends on it and don't know how to function without, you are a slave to it. Yeah, that is so true, Guru. Um, so Yeah, and I mean that's I'm glad you're bringing this up, Guru. You know, there is no point of buying all these prepping gears if you really don't know how to use it. And I noticed that like some people say, you know, oh yeah, I got this and I got that. Yeah, but how many times do you go out there to practice with it, to learn about it? You know, you popped another one. Okay, okay, I make you feel special. So now you are twice in here.
Oh, sorry. Like I said, I'm new to this. I'm to the YouTube thing. Look, Pete, I just started doing one or two little videos here and there, and I'm having fits with it as far as my equipment and stuff like that. So
No, it's
technology,
all
even
good.
though I'm a comms guy, technology is really not my strong point.
No, it's all good. You're good, man. No worry. I was just joking with you.
Yeah, I've been trying to see the chat, what people are saying. So I
Yeah.
apologize if I don't respond. Like I said,
Well,
I'm not good with technology.
the grid is a tool, but like a tool, if you depend on it and don't know how to function without it, you are a slave to it. Yeah.
That's right. I mean, a lot of people don't know how to use it. Even,
Yeah.
you know, I do a lot of survival training and stuff like that. And even people going camping, they have these jet boils, they have these pocket rockets, and they're great. But what happens when you don't have the gas to use those things? Now you're going to have to actually learn how to make a fire, get out your canteen, your single wall canteen, and start boiling water. And what you start realizing is you've been doing work all day long, you're tired. Do I really want to start processing water? Well, no,
Right.
but I have to. So I mean, it's
I mean that even counts to myself. You know, for example, you know, I do have a ham radio, but I haven't programmed it yet. I don't know much about them. I still Google stuff online, try to learn a little bit more about it. But you know, we are not strong in every section of prepping. You know, because prepping has so many different directions. You know.
well,
Um,
that's the beautiful thing about our community. I know this, you know that. Can you help me? Well, yeah, if you help me with this, I'll help you with that. And that's how we kind of that's why I come on these things. I love to listen to people and see what they know. And if there's something I'm interested in, I'll reach out to them. I reached out to you at one point, and I reached out to a couple other people too.
Right. I'm glad that you're saying that. You know, now the problem is a lot of people don't believe in communities. They I say 85% of the people here on YouTube, they believe only in lone wolf prepping. They believe, oh, I need to have only my own shit and I don't need anybody. I'm good. I have everything I need. I'm not willing to share my stuff, or oh, he's gonna take my stuff or stuff like that. With that kind of mentality, you're not gonna make it too far. I can promise you that.
Well, my personal belief is I want to be as independent as I possibly can,
Right.
but and here's the but, you do need people to help you. Like you
Yeah.
said, you don't know everything. If something happens and you can't stay awake 24/7, you need to catch a couple of Z's here and there. You need somebody to watch your back a little bit.
Right.
So
I mean, a lot of people think, you know, yeah, oh, I don't need anybody. Okay, well, if you don't need anybody, I'm just asking you a simple question. You know, are you good at mechanic? Are you good at surgery? Are you a nurse? Are you a carpenter? Are you an electrician? Are you a gardener? Are you a bushcrafter? If you are all that on at the same time, then I put my head off for you because you got all those skills. But unfortunately, back to real life, you know, we are dependent on each other. You're going to need a nurse. You're going to need a doctor. You're going to need a mechanic. You're going to need a carpenter. you're going to need a lot of different kind of people with skills. You can tell me you don't need these type of people. I mean, when it comes to living off grid, and let's say for real off grid, okay, you're not going back to city and none of that. You're going to stay on your damn land, and I want to see for how long you're going to survive without these skills that are that you actually need. There's no way you're going to survive. I promise you that. You're going to need people who actually provide this type of service. You're going to need people with skills, because things happen in life. I mean, if you believe you are a lone wolf person, hey, it takes only one little accident and you're going to be down. Who's going to fix you now? Let's say you were trying to cut a tree and you broke your leg. How are you going to take care of the rest of your life on your land or wherever you off-grid living doing? That's going to be very hard to do.
Let me point out something that I've noticed. If you watch one of these survival shows, they have these survival experts. Now, I don't know every survival expert out there. I know a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to their schools and stuff like that. And they start these, and they know their stuff. There's ones I know. And they go out and do these challenges, and they're out there for 30 days. And let's say they start off at 210 pounds. And by the end of it, they're down to 170, 160. And they know all the survival skills. Like I said, I know one or two of them. They're legitimate. So that's an expert. That's somebody that I would say has a really good chance of survival. And they survived, but look at what they went through. It goes to show you they're knowledgeable, but you need help. You can't do everything yourself.
Right. I mean, let's go there. What you just said. Let's say you do have a land. You have to go hunting. You have to skin the deer. You have to take care of the meat. You have to grow your own food. You have to take care of security. When are you going to sleep? And that's, even if you can do it, I can promise you, after 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to be crying and saying, I can't do this no more. Because you're doing it all by yourself. I mean, I have heard even people saying, oh, I've been doing this on myself. No, you haven't, because you've been dependent on the system. You've been getting all this for free, easy ways, but doing it all, processing it all from scratch by yourself, that's going to be a different story.
Well, look at people that, this is an area that I'm not strong at. I just started doing within the last year or two, gardening. People say, I'm going to grow my garden. That's great. I have one too. But think about, if you're going to grow enough food to provide for you, your family, and / your community, depending on what your plan is, how much land do you need to grow enough food? How many people do you need to work that land? A lot of people don't realize the scale that you would have to do that. I mean, you need people.
Right. I mean, just do yourself a favor and go figure out how many people live on the farm. Ain't just one single person or a husband and a wife or so. They got plenty of children, and every person got their own area where they're supposed to do something. Hey,
and machinery.
Yeah, one person is taking care of the garden. One person is taking care of the animals. One person is going hunting. One person take care of to make sure everything is secure and all this. It's not just one person. I mean, goddamn, are you an AI robot that you can do so many things at the same time? I don't think so.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
No.
But that's why when I hear you sometimes get on there and you want to grow this community. I hear it in your voice that you really want to get this thing going, and it seems like you're getting a little frustrated. It will happen. Trust me. Sooner or later,
Yeah,
you're going to run into a person, and maybe that person doesn't work out, but because of that person, you meet this person, and Pete, get out there, go to as many events as you can. It might be blacksmithing, it might be this, anything where you think there's going to be preppers. Get to meet the people, take your time, get to learn them, and
right.
eventually you'll get there.
Right. I mean, trust me. I've been mad as fuck. Okay. I've been mad as fuck. I'm like, what's wrong with these people? So I've been in that situation. Hey, how you doing, Scatback? Good to see you. You asked me when am I going live? I'm live over 1 hour and 20 minutes now. Where the hell have you been? No. Anyway. I mean, I've been in that situation, and it is frustrating at some point, when you're trying to do something good and people just don't take you serious or whatever. It's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. It is a hard thing to do. But I have heard so many people saying, "Oh yeah, I have done this all by myself." Dude, you're just fooling yourself. You're just lying to yourself in your face, actually, because no, you have not done all that. Because if you do all this by yourself, you're gonna realize how hard that is. You really don't know that.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of people like that too. Let me ask you a question. Your meetup that's coming up Friday.
Yeah.
I catch you when I can between work, and there's a lot of things going on in my life right now. What's Friday going to be about?
Friday on Friday basically is like everybody introduce themselves and tell their backgrounds, where they're coming from and what they do. And then, I have several questions about SHTF. And then I also have a question about, that's my biggest question, actually, because I'm kind of frustrated and pissed about it. Is this a TV show or is this for real? This prepping and all this, is this for the people on YouTube actually? Do they take this serious, or is this just a damn TV show for them? Because that's pretty much what YouTube is. It is a different kind of TV show for them. Me personally, I don't believe too many people are taking it serious. Maybe there are only a few that taking it serious, but majority of them, they look at it as a damn TV show. And then I do have several questions about SHTF situations, what you do in this kind of scenario, and what do you do in this kind of scenario. So
that sounds really cool. I'll definitely be listening. I wish I could be on, but that can't happen.
That's okay. You can still watch it later on. I'm not.
I can listen to it. Usually, I listen to everything. So,
okay.
If we have a side conversation, I'll explain why, and you'll understand. But
right.
It's that sounds like it's going to be a good show. Sounds like I'm kind of curious, if I had to answer those questions on the spot, how would I answer them? I would consider myself serious, but I have other interests too, and other things too.
I think, I don't know how long the show will be, but as soon as the people that I invited leave, anybody who wants to actually jump in the box and come up, and we can keep talking about it, because this is not just a simple, how can I say, a simple solution to it. There are so many directions where this is heading to, and we do need to talk about certain situations and solutions. You know what I mean?
Well, the best things that I've come across is when you ask me a question that I get stumped on. That's great, because if I didn't think about it, I rather start thinking about it now than later, you know, and be able to,
Right.
if it come up, have a solution. You catch my drift.
Yeah. I don't know. Were you there on the first prepper meeting?
I don't think so. I'm to be honest with you, Pete. I don't know. Like I said, I
Because
listen to a
I
lot
don't
of
have it
YouTube.
anymore. I don't have it anymore, so that you could watch it, and I deleted it because
Okay.
at some point, you know, I was actually at that point. I was going to delete my account, actually, you know, because
No, don't do that, man. You know what? Look, I listen to you a lot. Sometimes I can chime in, sometimes I can't. I try to chime in if I can. But you know what? People, you don't sometimes you get discouraged, but I do think people listen. They like to hear different people's point of view and have conversations. So when you say it's entertainment, yeah, you know what? I agree with. I do kind of agree with it. For me, it is a little bit of entertainment, but it's also a lifestyle too. I get a little bit of both out of it. I
right.
love listening to people that
Mhm.
express the same opinion. You know, not the same opinions, but the same interests as I do, and different opinions, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, people need people need to. That's just how I see it. You know, especially with my background. People really need to take this more serious because this your life is depend on, and people are just not taking it serious enough. I think, you know, I think they just look. They YouTube is a different. What's the right word for that? Okay, YouTube is a replacement for some TV shows on TV, basically. You know?
Yeah.
But I'm not here. I'm not here to entertain anybody because I'm not anybody's clown. You know, I'm here actually to tell people what really is going to happen soon. And when the shit hit the fan, you know, you're gonna remember every single word I said to you because that's exactly what's gonna happen. And believe me, I'm not trying to show off or so, but in the past 3 years, every single thing I said actually really happened. You know, I warned in 2020. That's that's before anything else. There was no inflation, no nothing. Okay, I I was on Dangerous Channel. I don't know if you remember him.
No, I do not.
Oh, okay, he passed away actually, but I mentioned that on his channel. I said you better prepare yourself. Food inflation is going to come, and food prices is going to go up. This is America. This is not a third world country. And boom, what happened? We got inflation and food prices, and actually price increase happened to pretty much everything. You name it, gas, rent, food, everything went up. And I was not playing. That's because I don't have a crystal ball or so. I cannot see in the future, but because of where I'm coming from and what I have seen, that's what this is all based on. I don't make up stuff, but everything I did say did actually really happen. You know, I did say, you know, hey, food prices are going to go up, and you know, I understand every American is proud of their country. Everybody should be, you know, no matter where you come from, you know. But I remember they were this saying about 1776 and I'm a patriot and whatever. But at that point, there was no war between Russia and Ukraine, you know. But where are they now? You don't hear much about them talking about it anymore. I do feel like a lot of people are in fear, to be honest, because why is it, you know, I mean, this is what the forefather of this country have done, you know. They have stood up and fight against the government. You know, and they keep saying, you know, oh yeah, we are the same. No, we are not. You are not the same. Your forefathers were a different kind of breed. they had fucking balls when they stood up and doing that. But these days, to be honest, and that's just my opinion, and I'm not even American, okay? I just live in this country, but I'm just giving you my opinion about it. If you don't like it, hey, let me know. But I feel like, the people back then, they fought for freedom. What are you fighting for?
Well, that's a good point. That's a good question. Everybody's here for maybe their own reasons, different point of views, and that's okay. Me personally, I'm more into. I see some things coming down the pipe, kind of like what you're saying, and I just want to be ready for it. I just want to be, I don't want to be sitting somewhere hoping I can get by or whatever. I just want to be in the best spot I possibly can be. I try to train. I try to learn stuff.
Right.
I just recently started doing some videos. Like I said, I've been having some personal issues at home and some video problems. I'm working them out, and I want to help people, if I can. Maybe we should starting off with some survival skills, and then maybe branching out into other things.
I understand, Arifman. I mean, we all go through that. You're not the only one. You're not alone.
Cool.
And another thing is, because you are prepping, that doesn't mean you are safe. There are millions of people who have prepared themselves, and I'm not talking about America. I'm talking about where I'm from. A lot of people have prepared themselves, but prepping is, if you believe prepping is your life insurance, no, it's not. Prepping is basically only providing your basics of living, of survival. But are you going to survive this? That's all up depends on your skills, not on what you have, because you are the biggest skill. Your brain is your biggest skill of everything. It doesn't matter what that you have, 50 caliber sniper, or you have 2 years of food or so. It takes only one mistake of you, not of your gear.
True.
It doesn't matter what you have. You have these rich preppers, and you have these middle class preppers, and you have low class poor preppers, right? So, but that doesn't mean that you're going to survive just because you have that stuff and the other person don't. It all depends on your own skills and your what you call this? What is the right word for this? Your instinct. This is what this is about. Doesn't matter that you have your prepper gear was $10,000 and the other person's prepper gear was only $2,000. It's not depend on up to that. It's all depends on you, because you're the biggest weapon yourself. Because remember, your firearm is not going to shoot by itself unless you pull the trigger.
Gotcha. It's I agree with you. It's everything that you said it's a tool. If you don't know how to use the tool, it's letting you down.
I mean, because a lot of people think this way. Okay, I think a lot of people think that because you have prepped, this is now you're done, you good. You don't have to worry because this is now your life insurance. No, it's not. It's not your life insurance. I hear this a lot of times on different chats, but I don't want to go and argue with them or so. I just think in myself, oh man, you're living in Alice in Wonderland. You really don't have no idea. That's all I'm thinking about.
Well, I'll relate it. I'll relate to this. I go out and do hiking, camping, and I have a big bag. My bag is heavy. I can carry it. I've done it for, miles and miles and miles. I'm not the strongest hiker, but I can do it. But I'm very experienced. So when I see you go out with this big, huge bag, I start looking at you. Usually the big bag is there to compensate for the lack of skills. The bigger the
Right.
bag usually means the less skills you have, the more you have to rely on these other things, these gadgets and stuff. Vibe. So, it's the same thing when you talk about people having stuff. Yes, you want to have a lot of food. That's an insurance to get you through to a certain point. But once you get to that point, you need the other skills. You need to know how to grow food, how to hunt, how to preserve food, to get through. So I kind of disagree with you. I do think it is an insurance policy, but it's limited. It gets you to a certain point. After that, if you don't have those skills, well, you
Well,
you bought time, but that's it.
Well, see, that's the thing. What I'm talking about. People don't do anything, but they just have the money and they just buy the prepping gear, and they think they don't need to do anything else. That's what I mean by that.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
you do need to go, even if, when you buy your tool, even if you don't know anything about it. Hey, you have to go out there and practice to get more familiar with that tool that you have bought. There is no reason just because you bought that stuff and don't know how to use them. That doesn't mean you are safe. You really don't know how to use them. So you do need to go out there and practice every single day. The more you practice, the less mistakes you're gonna make when the SHTF really happens. You have practiced for so long that you are prepared for this particular day.
Sure. Like I said, when I went out to this event, I saw a lot of people who were beginning at this. They had these big tents, and I'm not putting them down. It's a step. I was there at one point too, but I applaud them because you know what? It's not easy stepping out for the first time and trying something that's out of your comfort zone. So, I look forward to going back and seeing how they grew from one year to the next to the next.
Right.
I love watching that learning curve. I've seen it. I'm part of, I told you, different groups. One of the groups, we take people out who are new at survival skills. And you see that after a month or two, the improvement, the gear, its strengths. They didn't know how to start a fire. Now it's like no big deal. I mean, and that goes with prepping. I mean, like you're saying, I'm not a doctor, but I try to learn as much as I can. I've taken first aid, CPR, AED, wilderness first aid, tactical combat casualty. I mean,
Right.
am I a doctor? No, but at least I have something that
I understand that, Irishman, but sometimes even taking classes might not be good enough. When it comes to surgery, when you need to actually take a bullet out of somebody's body, just classes ain't good enough, in my opinion. I think you are dependent on somebody who is actually a doctor or somebody.
Oh, absolutely. But if you're out with
it's
me,
good.
I'm trying to get you to the doctor. That's it. I'm trying to keep you to that point where we can somehow get you to somebody that can patch up. I mean, if you get shot or cut and we can't stop the bleed, the doctor's not going to help you. 20 minutes later.
Don't get me wrong. It's good to have taking classes like that, to have that specific skill on the side. But you still need help from professional people. Who are doing that for
absolutely.
I agree with that.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. I agree with you totally. Like I said, I just take as many things as I can.
Yeah.
And I've actually applied some of it, on a smaller scale. Somebody was chopping a branch and they chopped through their finger. So
right.
we got them to stop it and get to the doctor, So I agree with you. Yeah, I'm not a professional. I'm not going to be performing surgery on you. I just want to make sure that I can help you.
Right. You want to laugh for a second? Okay.
Go ahead.
So I was running the stream actually here. how strong are your defending skills, martial arts, right?
Hmm.
And I, I was laughing my ass off. This one particular person said, "Yeah, I have took YouTube classes about martial art." I started laughing, because for a fact that you're not able to 100% learn how to defend yourself just watching some videos. That's not going to happen. Uh,
No.
if that happens, then there wouldn't be any martial art dojos anymore. Everything would be just online then. I mean, it takes patience and practice for years. Trust me. And I just thought that was really funny that that person responded to me like that.
Oh, absolutely. I remember you saying, telling us a story a while ago about how you had a background in Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah, my cousin teaches me.
Yeah,
Uh,
I studied martial arts studied and taught for about 25 years before I hung it up. And can I beat up everybody? No, absolutely not. But I can do a lot better than when I started, and
right.
it doesn't happen overnight. You can learn the moves, but learning the moves and actually learning how to use them under duress and under a real life situation are two different things. So I agree with you.
Yeah,
With everything.
I agree with that. I mean, yeah, you can watch so much movies and practice all these moves, but when you're really standing in front of a person, you really don't know what kind of attack he's gonna do, and you're gonna completely move completely different than what you actually know. You know, that's the thing. But
Yep.
saying that, oh yeah, oh I'm not worried about it. I watched some YouTube videos. I mean, yeah, you make me laugh, bro. I mean, I was 14. I was 14 years old, and my cousin taught me till I was 27. So I I trained a lot with him, and he's a monk. He actually lived in China. So, um, but you thinking that you just gonna beat somebody because you watch some YouTube videos? No, I disagree with that. Not gonna happen.
And you never know who knows what.
What?
And you never know who knows what.
Right, exactly. Because there are again, there are so many different kind of martial arts styles. You don't know what that person knows. That's why I say, never underestimate your enemy. I mean, even till today's day, yeah, I do know how I'm gonna kick your ass, but I have to always have this mentality that there will be somebody out there do a move that I'm not aware of, and that's everybody should be aware of that actually. But this is not what people really think of sometimes. They think
Yeah.
they think, oh yeah, I took 6 months karate or kung fu or taekwondo or whatever. They think like now they are the shit. No, that's not how real life works actually.
Well, it took me about 10 years to get my first black belt, and I would say probably another 2 years onto that before I started feeling like, all right, I can do stuff. And even then, you come across people, they come at you a different way, you're not used to, or do some different things. Recently, I was helping. Do you know Mad Shed?
Yeah, I know Matt Chet. Yeah,
Yeah, so I was helping him at one of his classes at Visions. I was just basically a stabbing victim, but it was fun. It was fun, and it was cool to watch him. Like you could see, all right, he trained. Yeah, definitely trained. He knew some stuff, and like I said, it was fun working with him for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's why
Uh,
these events are great.
so to give you, what did you practice actually, if you don't mind asking?
What did I practice? A whole bunch of different things. I started off with a Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu style, and what I did was what I started learning was it was great, but I wanted to fill holes, so I started learning Jeet Kune Do, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Sambo, a little bit of Filipino fighting, fighting a little bit, just a variety of different things to kind
To
of make me well-rounded.
to give you an advice, when you combine different things together, you're gonna create your own moves. Now, me, I did wrestling, like Persian wrestling, right? I did boxing, I did Jet Kune Do, and then I combined this with dancing. You know, so um, when you combine stuff together, you're gonna realize you're creating your own thing, and that's not where you can learn it somewhere. But when you have the basic skills of each martial art, you combine martial art together, you're gonna create your own movements.
True, very true. Well, that's where Jeet Kune Do came in. Jeet Kune
Right,
Do was
right,
an art from Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee learned it from Ip Man. Ip Man, if you looked at his background, he didn't teach everybody the same way. He would look at you, he would figure out what your strengths are and teach you, even though he was teaching Wing Chun and he was teaching a system, he would teach it to your, I guess, your strengths. If you're fast or you're strong or whatever it is. And
right.
I think when you look at Bruce Lee when he developed his martial art, he a lot of people don't realize that his teacher influenced him a lot. I mean, Bruce did his own different things,
Right.
but it was incredible. That was an art that I really didn't know much about. I went to a seminar to start, and I learned. One of his students, his backyard student, Steve Golden, was teaching it. I didn't even know who he was. I went to a gymnasium where somebody was hosting the event. I was using the bathroom. This older gentleman was right next to me. We're talking. I'm like, oh, that's great. This old guy's, still practicing martial art. I didn't know he was a teacher.
There is nobody else gonna come that is close near to where Bruce Lee was standing at, actually.
You know what? I don't know about that, but I do know that he was way ahead of his time as far as his
Yeah.
thought process and stuff like that. I mean, eventually, the greats all get past, but he was definitely special. His thought process as far as the martial arts was way ahead of his time. I
Yeah.
mean, when you look at mixed martial arts, he was doing it back then. You look at
Right.
physical training, he was
Right.
doing things that were
So
way
what?
ahead of the curve.
So since we're talking about this, I'm very curious about that. What do you think? Which martial artist is getting actually close to where Bruce Lee was standing?
I don't know, man. It's hard to say. I mean, it's like comparing athletes in sports. Like, who was better?
Right.
Gordie Howe, Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, Mike Bossy. They're all great and they're all different. They played in different eras, different times. So it's hard to say. Some people, they think of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as the end-all be-all. And it's a great martial art. I
Right.
studied that for a little bit too. But I actually been with Hoist Gracie, who won the first two UFC championships. And later on, he went on and fought, believe it was Matt Hughes. And Matt Hughes had his way with him. Why? Because people learn, people evolve, people get better. So when you say
Right.
who's as good as Bruce Lee, there might be people as good as him now, but he's the one who started all this, in my opinion.
Right. Hey, give me a second. Let me use the bathroom. I'll be back. Okay.
All right, I'll be here.
Okay.
I can't see the chat though.
All right. Okay, I'm back. So I'm just gonna give you my opinion about this. I think, um, I think it's like, every martial art is developing himself, and I don't think, even though they say, yeah, nobody would beat up Bruce Lee or whatever. But I do believe this. I believe every martial art is developing itself, and um, and it's like dancing. You creating new moves to your next move, and that's basically what martial art is about too. Um, you basically developing new moves in order to become better and to be able to defend yourself better, to make better attacks and stuff like that. I I I don't think I think that's just my opinion. I think the closest one, in my opinion, is not Jackie Chan. I think Jet Li, in my opinion, would be the closest one that is getting close to Bruce Lee. That's just my opinion.
Okay. I mean, those are some of the mainstream guys, and Jet Li seems like he's amazing, very athletic, very great at what he does. There's another guy I studied with a little bit here and there is Gokor Gavinovich. Nobody's ever heard of him.
What's his name?
Gokor Gavinovich. He was Armenian. He,
Armenian. Okay.
he was part of the Soviet Union before everything changed over. He was on the Russian Olympic team, judo. He came over to this country and he started mixed martial arts. You may not know who he is, but I can guarantee you know who his students are. He was at one point, I think, like 3 or 400 and in cage fighting.
He's 60 years old. He studied judo and jiu-jitsu.
Sambo jiu-jitsu. Some of his students were the biggest one you probably know is what's her name? Rowdy. What's the women's champ that she went into wrestling? Oh crap, name slipping me.
It says, it says Gokor Zvichyns is an American-born American judo.
No, he was Russian. He was Armenian. He wasn't American born. He became an American citizen.
Oh, well,
He was with Gene LaBelle, Rowdy Ronda Rousey. That was
right.
one of his students. The Shamrocks, for a while, they had a falling out, but pretty much 90% of the MMA world has gone to him. I've
Right.
actually seen him in action, and the guy was incredible. I'm saying going back like 20 years ago.
Right.
More
I
than
mean,
30.
you do have to understand there are people out there, they are even stronger than some of these people because they just put themselves in the social media. There are people out there, they are not even in the social media and they are badass actually.
Of course, there's a lot of people like that. People that you wouldn't expect, like that guy Steve Golden. I
Right.
remember I was in my early 20s, and he was doing this non-telegraphic striking, and my background was Japanese martial arts, taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, stuff like that. And
Mhm.
he was standing like I was trying to do to him, and we're standing about a little over arm length away, maybe a little bit more. I'm trying to hit him, I couldn't hit him, and all of a sudden he doubles the distance, and I saw him move, but I couldn't move quick enough out of the way before he hit me,
Right.
and I was very impressed. Like wow, that's very cool. So I started learning a little bit, and like you said, I don't do pure Jeet Kune Do, which there isn't such a thing as pure Jeet Kune Do, but facets of it that fascinate me. I don't kick like Jeet Kune Do with the way they chamber and stuff like that, but the trapping really was the thing that stuck out with me. So I kind of learned it as much as possible. Pak Sao, Lap Sao, Chi Sao, which is also Wing Chun too, but just different facets of that. And I was hooked. And now when I was teaching, I incorporated the way I did it, but what I found was, I would have like maybe 6 or 7 different students all do it 6 or 7 different ways. Everything was correct, but they did it in their own unique way that
So
matched what
I
they
want
did.
to ask you. I want to ask you a personal question. So, where do you take your strength from?
Say again?
So, where do you take your strength from when you make a move? Uh, where do you get your most strength out of it?
You mean power? Like
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
try to punch
power.
something?
Yeah.
It's usually from your feet that drives up
Oh,
to
your
your
feet.
body.
Okay. Okay.
It goes from, look, there's boxing, kickboxing, certain things but basically, no matter what you do, Jeet Kune Do, Taekwondo, which isn't really a punching art, it's more kicking. They have punches. Karate, boxing, everything comes from the feet rises up. You turn your hips. You do everything in a certain manner. There's different ways of doing it, but you're not just throwing your arm. You're throwing your body behind it, basically, to
Right.
create
So
that power.
I can only tell you what my cousin teach me because he got the 7 done in uh, in martial art, and he told me he teach me you get the most strength out of your hips. When you twist your hip and punch at the same time, you're gonna have a higher strength than you just punching.
No, correct. But think about it now. If your foot is, I'm going to use this term like nailed to the floor, it doesn't move. How do you turn your hips?
Say that
Your
again.
heel. If your foot is stationary, your foot,
Uh-huh.
right, and you throw a punch and you try to turn your hips, you can turn it a little bit, right? But if
Right.
you pick your heel up just slightly, and
Mhm.
then now you put your body behind it, your hips can turn that much more and get that much more force.
Right.
So when you think about it, that's why I said it comes from the feet. Yes, you want to turn your body. The one thing I cringe at is when I went into like a gym where they're doing women's kickboxing, but it's not the real kickboxing, not putting down women, but the people that are teaching them. And they're throwing the kicks and stuff. I'm like, there's no power behind that. I mean, yes, I know you're doing it for physical exercise, but these women think, oh, wow, I'm learning kickboxing. Now I can defend myself. Like, no, that's going to get you killed. And not for nothing, it'll probably get you hurt because, as you know, if you're trying to throw a punch hard and you're not throwing it correctly and you're kind of going against your body, you might twist something. You might, crank your back or whatever. Your body has to move in that natural movement, everything aligned, everything going in the right direction. So I do agree with you. Hips, yes, but it first comes from the foot. It travels up.
Yeah.
And your hips turn and everything.
Well, it's
When you turn your hips too, you can punch through the target instead of at the target.
right. I mean, it's a combination between your foot and your hip. When you
So connected.
when you twist and punch, you're gonna have a higher strength than not moving your leg. Just punching your arm is not gonna do much as if you do twist your hip and your foot at the same time. That does make a difference.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. And it's like I said. It's for me. I was bullied as a young kid, and when I got a little bit older, I had a chance to study, and that's why I studied.
Right.
And I enjoyed it thoroughly. Like I said, I don't consider myself as a badass or somebody. I just like to do it because I knew how to do it.
I don't consider myself as a badass, but I can guarantee that anybody who tries to fuck me over, they're gonna get fucked too.
Yeah, I mean, look.
You're not
I
gonna,
know, like,
you're not gonna walk away. You're not gonna walk away without anything. Even if you do kick my ass, I'm gonna give you something back.
absolutely. No, I totally agree with that. Like I said, I'm not going to win all my fights, but all I can tell you is, unless you're really, really good, you're going to get into a fight with me. I can throw finesse, and then I can throw like a brawler. And like I said, if you get me good and mad enough, ugh, I could throw some stuff at you. But
Right.
hey, Pete, I'm going to call tonight. Thank you for
All
having
right.
me on. I appreciate it, and
I
I'll be listening Friday.
coming
And
up.
I hope everything goes well.
Yeah, I really appreciate you coming up. It was really an awesome conversation we had.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, I enjoyed it a lot. And maybe one of these days when I get my act together,
yeah, I
maybe
didn't.
you could return the favor.
Right, I didn't think we have so many things in common, but I really appreciate this conversation. Thanks.
No, I had fun. I'm glad I could do it tonight, and I saw it, and then I'm like,
Yeah,
let me go on. It's hard. It's hard going. I give you credit, man, to go on, and sometimes you don't have anybody, and you keep on talking. That's not an easy skill. It's definitely not.
no, it's
It's like,
not. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, damn, I don't know what else to say. Goddamn.
no, I hear you. I hear you. Like I said, I'm learning that myself. Everything I watch on YouTube now, when I watch other people do it, I'm kind of like, now that I'm starting to do it, I only have 2 videos, but it's like, man, they make it look easy, And
No,
I
it
was
ain't.
actually talking. I was talking to somebody who does it, and they said, just do it. You'll get better.
Right.
Like I said, I give him a lot of credit. Actually, Mike from Hudson Valley Prepping. He said, just do it. And he's given me a lot of support, and I appreciate it. So, and
Right.
you know, he makes it look easy. He makes it look like it's no
Yeah.
big deal. And he was at
Well,
Ohio.
I mean, yeah, that's why sometimes I say, hey, you can jump in the box. When I say that, that means, man, I don't know what else to say. Just come on and help me a little bit out. Have a conversation with me.
You got to remember, most people are scared to talk. Either they don't want to be on
I
because
don't find
they don't want
anybody.
people to know more, or you know what? It's easy to be in the chat and chime in when it's convenient, and it's harder to come
Right.
and talk. But you're really good at it, and thank you. You made it really easy for me.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I appreciate that you came up. Yeah, next time you come, just jump in the box, man. I love having conversation with you.
I appreciate it.
Seems like
I'm
we
afraid
have.
to say the wrong thing. You might kick my
I didn't
ass.
know that you are in martial arts too. Now I've been a kid. When I did martial art. I mean, I was in a kung fu school. So and I don't know if you know that double kick where you pretend you're kicking the leg, but then you do kick in the face, right?
Yeah, it's in Taekwondo. It's like a double kick. There's a
Right.
lot of different versions you can
Right.
do. But
I was watching too many Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee movies, and I had to go to school. I'm like, all right, bro, I'm ready. I'm like, what? And then boom, I hit him in the face, and I was not supposed to hit him. So, but my cousin teach me some moves, and my teacher actually kicked my ass. So and that's
it's very humbling. It's very humbling when you. I remember my teacher. I couldn't beat him. I don't think I could beat him to this day. I talk to him from time to time. He moved out of state, but back then I was pretty athletic back in the day. Not so much now, but back in the day I played college sports and stuff like that, and I couldn't get him. It was so frustrating. And I wasn't bad. It's just he was just that much better.
Right. My master's name was Qing Lung. So
No.
he was from China, and my cousin he grew up in a Shaolin monk. He stayed there for over 27 years in that school. And
that must have been some experience. I can only imagine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even to today's day, I would never have the boss to say anything to my cousin because I know he has the capability of killing my ass. That's how bad he is.
You know what? Usually when somebody trains, they're not so eager to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
As time goes along, there's a lot more consequences if you do something. So in my particular case, you would have to make me crazy, which doesn't happen too often. I can let go a lot of stuff, or you really have to put me and my family's life on the line or something like that.
But my master kicked my ass, and that's when my cousin came in, because he asked me where did I learn this move. I said, yeah, my cousin teach me that, and then my cousin came in school and he fought my master, and he did kick his ass in less than 3 seconds. And he asked him where
See,
you from. He
you,
said,
you know what though? This is my thought process on this. If everybody puts a teacher, if my teacher can beat your teacher, my martial art must be better, right? That's the general thought process. But when
right.
you look at boxers, Mike Tyson, for example, Customato, which was a legendary trainer
Hmm.
that trained Mike Tyson, he must be able to kick everybody's ass, right? No, he was able to teach people. You know, everybody kind of confuses that if that guy can beat this guy up, that martial art must be better, and that's not necessarily true. That guy might be gifted at what he does. Maybe
Right.
that martial art is better, but that particular guy can make anything work. If you catch my
Right.
drift.
I mean, okay, it's like, I'm gonna have an athlete and I'm gonna have a chubby person, and I'm gonna teach them both the same technique. That doesn't mean the chubby one is gonna be able to do the same thing that the other dude was capable of doing. It has a lot to do with your personality and with your goals and with your skills too. So you can't just say, okay, I teach this skill and this skill is gonna be better than anybody else. It all depends on who's learning it.
Yes, I mean, and certain, like I said, I've had different students throughout the years, and some of them were really naturally gifted and very aggressive, and some weren't as aggressive, but they became more of a counter fighter. And both one of those skills are great. I remember one particular situation where I had one student. He wasn't that aggressive. It took him a long time to kind of figure things out, but he finally did. And then one of his buddies joined, and he was just naturally gifted, and he was very aggressive. We went to a tournament, and the other kid just mowed through everybody. Just like
But
with 30 seconds.
out of
And
my
then all of a sudden, the other student came in, and the other student beat him because he outsmarted him. And it just goes to show you, like, it can be deceptive a little bit. It's not exactly what you think.
right, but out of my own experience, I can only say, you have the skill, but you separate technique with anger, you're not going to make it far. Because
Well, anger and aggressive is two different things.
yeah,
I agree with you.
when you
What I
fight,
find is if you fight 90%, if you're aggressive, I shouldn't say 90%, but a large percentage of the time, you're going to get your way with people. But every once in a while, if you're aggressive and you find somebody who's more of a counterfire, he's going to eat you up because you're going to walk into things where if you just kind of relaxed and, kind of let me enter this, the right way, you'd
yeah,
be better off.
I agree. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Um, a technique is way more developed than your anger.
Sure. I mean, you know what? It's funny when you talk to somebody who really knows how to fight boxing and stuff like that. It's more of a chess match than it
Yeah,
is the strength or the power.
right,
If both guys are skilled, usually the guy who's a little bit smarter will
right. I
kind of
mean,
just
where the people don't they fail actually is they think because they have more muscle, they think, oh yeah, I'm gonna kick your ass, but they are so wrong at that because you have so many nerve systems in your body, and when you learn martial art, you're going to learn where these nerve systems are, where you're supposed to punch to put that person down. And it doesn't matter how strong that person is. The muscle is not going to do anything about it. Now,
yeah.
my wife, for example, she works in the nursing field, right? So she told me, yeah, these moves that I'm teaching her, she cannot use. I'm like, yeah, but I'm teaching you these moves because when the time comes and you really don't know what else to do, this is where you're gonna use these moves in order to protect yourself. I'm not saying you go and kick everybody's ass with these moves, but you need to have these moves in your head that when you feel in a very dangerous situation, that you are capable to get out of that situation.
Well, that's why I also think that when you study martial arts in today's world, you also have to learn about the law. You have to learn when to use, when it's appropriate to use
Right,
something.
right.
And it's state to state that varies. And also, too, a lot of people, they may be great in the classroom, in the dojo, but once you get them in a real life situation, have you ever heard of the 3 Fs?
No, what's that?
Fight, flight, or freeze?
Oh no, I never heard about that.
Okay, so that's how your body reacts, and basically when you get into a situation that is very very intense, your body's probably going to act in one or several ways. Usually, most people freeze. So when you freeze, that's probably the worst thing in the world that happens because you're not defending yourself. So one, you have to learn that hey, I freeze. 2, you have to like, how do I overcome it? And work through it. You know, some people, look, when you're fighting, I'm fighting somebody in the dojo. They could be awesome, but I'm great because, it's not real. But all of a sudden, something's real, and you get weak. You get that weak feeling. You kind of you don't know what to do. So you got to learn how to recognize it and how to overcome it. Some people they run. Some people they just start throwing. I mean, and I can't say which one it is that you do, but in those situations, a lot of women they freeze, So you gotta mentally prepare them for it.
I mean, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I know martial arts since I am 14 years old, and what my cousin taught me is very deadly, and I'm pretty sure everybody who does professionally martial art who know what's deadly and what's not. So and so far, I have not used any of my deadly moves to anybody. There was only one situation. I was living in Germany. There were like 3 skinheads. Yeah, I did block this one person's nerve system that he cannot make any moves. But other than that, yeah, you're supposed to use these skills only when you are in a deadly situation, I should say.
But a lot of people don't realize what that situation is. They weren't taught it.
Yeah.
So it's important. It's like I said, it's like giving a gun to a young kid. They don't know anybody. You got to teach them right. You got to teach them that, there's a time and place to use this, and
But it's very tricky. I have to say, it's very tricky because your emotions and your anger plays a big role in that.
And the fear. Trust me, I've seen a lot of situations. Like, I didn't do this to everybody, but a couple of my more advanced students do like some type of knife fighting, right? Where you have like a fake knife, and you create a scenario and let them walk through it. So, and they act halfway decent with it or whatever, and then all of a sudden, every once in a while, I wouldn't do anything, but I whip out a real knife and put it out and pretend like I was going to do something. And you saw all of a sudden in their face, like, oh crap, this is real. And then at that point, I would stop. I would never, because it's not worth hurting somebody or taking a super risk. But the reason why I did it was, the scenario, when it's real, the scenario changes. And another thing I would ask him, is when I pulled out the fake knife when we went to the scenario. All right, so I pulled out a knife. I go to stab you. You did some move. I asked for your wallet. You did some move. Do me a favor. Pull out your wallet. And they look at me like, what the hell are you talking about? Pull out your wallet. How much do you have in your wallet? $10? So your life was worth $10? You're an idiot. Give them the $10. You can replace the credit cards. if $10 is gonna make or break you, you shouldn't be here. You should be working on your financial situation right now. People kind of don't think. You want to make them go through the scenario so they can kind of understand that maybe I shouldn't be carrying that much money. If I'm carrying thousands of dollars, maybe I
Right.
should carry what I need. People don't think though.
I mean, there are a lot of people out there. They just learn martial art for the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think we all do. When we're kids, it looked cool, like you were saying, and I did it too. I want to learn how to do a jumping spin kick. It looks awesome on the TV screen, but hey, I could just throw a regular front kick and do the same thing, and it's a lot easier.
right. I mean, I was new in Germany because I grew up in Germany. So I grew up in Germany, and I got 7 kids kicked my ass. They basically kicked me blue and green. My whole body for 3 weeks. I could not sit on my butt. That's how bad it was. And that's when I decided to learn martial art. And then my cousin actually moved to Germany, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to teach you and make sure nobody's going to kick your ass anymore." And the second time they came to me, like I was mentioned before, I blocked one of their nerve system. They could not make any moves on me, but I would not take advantage of it. Just go out there and act like, oh yeah, I'm a badass. I'm gonna kick everybody's ass or so. But I learned this only when it gets really, really bad. I am able to defend myself. That is the difference between people learning actually martial art. A lot of people learn martial art because they think like, oh, that's badass. I'm gonna go and kick everybody's ass and stuff like that. No, there's one thing you cannot do with martial art, and that's the bullet. Trust me, it don't matter, no, how bad you are.
Well, I agree with you. You shouldn't be doing it that way, but a lot of people do. And
Yeah,
what happens is people got to remember every time you use your martial arts, whether it's correctly or incorrectly, there's consequences. Even
yeah,
if you're 100% right and you did everything for the right reasons and stuff, in this country, chances are you're going to be arrested. You're going to have to hire a lawyer, and you're going to have to, go through the process of defending yourself. And like I said, even if you're 100% right, it's going to cost you money.
yeah.
And if you did one or two things wrong, well, guess what? That's going to cost you too. So
Right.
always the best bet is kind of, if you can, walk away from it if you can.
I,
So what? So what
I
if the guy calls you this,
yeah,
that, the
I
other thing?
would
It
have to
works.
say, in this country, there's not much. Well, there are not too many choices that you're going to use martial art. And the reason why I'm saying that is because this country does not really believe in fist fighting. Most of the time, somebody have a knife or somebody has a gun or a rifle or whatever. But in the Middle East or in Europe or in any other country, because this is the only country that allows you to have weapons, actually. So I see less of a conflict between fist fighting than any other country, actually. Like when I lived in Germany, man, I've been in a lot of fights before. But here in America, I have never been in any fight with nobody. That's really interesting to me.
Well, you know what? I think it's because maybe when you came over here, I know, I've been here my whole life, and it's changed. I think a lot of it's culture,
Uh,
um, society, what you see on TV, and when I was growing up, if you had a problem, it was a fist fight. And then, when I got older, it
mhm.
seemed like when you watch the news, it started changing to the knives and the gun violence, the
But
gang type related.
maybe when you were a teenager, it was maybe different. But when you turn to an adult, things are a little bit different. I think.
I agree. I would definitely agree with that. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's unfortunate the way the world is turning, and I think that's why we do what we do, as far as
Right.
trying to be prepared and trying to meet people. But
Yeah.
like I said, Pete, don't give up. Keep on looking. Just the only advice I can give you is based from my experience, and try to get out and meet people in the areas. Do you know the app Meetup?
Meetup. No, I don't know this app. No.
If you go on that app, you type in the subject that you want, and there's all types of groups. Try it out. What do you got to lose?
Right.
Go meet people, see what they are, and if you like them, then I'm not saying, hey, come join my group, but take your time, go out and do a couple events with them. Go, anywhere where you think there's going to be people that are in our community, go out there, and I guarantee you, it's a lot of them, most of them, then they won't be the ones. But
Okay.
every once in a while, you'll find one or two.
Yeah, I'm on the app now. What is it called exactly? Meetup, social events, and go, or is it meet me, meet, chat, and go live? Which one is it?
It's Meetup. I think I can't get. I'm on my phone right now. It's MEET UP. It looks like red and white. Is like the logo.
With the M inside. Oh, okay, got you. All right, I'm gonna download.
That's one of the places. Do some Google searches. I mean, like I said, look, you're in the community. You know what to look for as far as
Yeah, I
if
have to say something very quick to this part. Like a lot of people think, oh yeah, don't take this person. I'm just talking in general. A lot of people say, oh yeah, I would come if I wasn't that far, but okay, so you have to really think about it. How much is your life worth?
you know what, that's what I would say to you, because you are so far from me.
Yeah, no,
but to be fair, and I don't take it personal.
Yeah,
But
that's
like I said, I would,
because I heard this so many times. I heard this
I
from
know.
so many people. They would always say, "Oh yeah, if I wasn't that far, I would come." But the main question is, how much is your life worth? Are you willing? Are you willing to take this type of miles to be safe, or do you think, or are you spoiled and say, "Oh no, that's too far for me. I ain't gonna come over there." I mean, that's
Well,
something
look,
only you can answer, not me.
I'm going to be honest with you. You know what? I can't speak for everybody else. I can just speak for myself.
Right.
With my circumstances, I have to be here at least for a little bit longer.
Mhm.
After that, then maybe I have been thinking about moving.
Right. I
If
mean,
we have a side conversation, I'll fill you in with everything. I don't like to kind of tell everything out here, but I would definitely consider moving. If let's say we hooked up, Pete, I would have to get to know you for a long time before I make that decision. And I
right.
would hope you want to do the same thing, because trust me,
Right.
I come to your place, I could be a maniac. You may not, you know what I mean? So it takes time to know
I
people.
agree.
But
I agree with that. But I completely understand what you're saying, because everybody in life has certain circumstances. Some people
I mean,
have some
if,
issues in life. They need to fix their problems first before they can actually consider making a next step or so. I completely get it. But all I'm saying is, like, I mean, I'm not from yesterday. I've been here for a while, and so far, I have heard a lot of shit from people. I have heard, oh yeah, oh, if I was closer to you, I would come right now. And don't tell me all that stuff. Hey, if you're serious, then, and if you really care about the safety of your family and yourself, then you're gonna consider anything. Because guess what? That's what my parents have did for me. You know what I mean?
when I hear that answer that you just gave me, if I was close to you, I don't want you coming if that's the only thing holding you back. Because
Right.
that to me means it's too easy. If I was 20 minutes from you, I would come to you. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's easy.
I
I
understand.
don't want that. I want you to come for the right reasons, not for
Right.
convenience.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, we are in war. Okay, we are in war. even if you don't think we are, but we are in war. So if you really believe in the safety of yourself and your family, then you're gonna take whatever it takes to make sure that your family stays safe. Now, it doesn't have to be where I am. Hey, it can be person X, for example. Okay, but you're gonna do what is best for you and for your family. It doesn't have to be me. Yeah, I've been searching for a while. Yeah, but I'm still gonna search. I'm not gonna give up or so. But I'm just saying, like, if in a situation like this, you should really consider what's best for you and your family. Even if that means you have to move to Alaska or to California or God knows where, but you should consider the safety of yourself and your family first. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And I am. Based on my
Yeah,
circumstances, I feel like I'm doing the best I can where I am
right.
to do that. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. I've listened to Bear. I haven't listened to him in a while, but he said something, on a fairly regular basis. And people that say this, you can always change your circumstances. And I always think like he's talking to me, which he's not. And he has a point. Like if I really want to change it, I could. But sometimes it's not that simple. You have
Right.
family members and stuff
No,
that you have to do, commitments that you have to be here. I am definitely looking to do something maybe in a few years from now.
right,
But what I've done is I've done everything else that I possibly can, and I keep on trying to better myself, better my situation.
right.
For
I think,
example, we're having a conversation tonight. Hey, Pete,
right,
what's Texas looking like? New York is going crazy. You better, get yourself ready. This is what I'm seeing. Stuff like that. Networking.
right.
Simple as that.
I think, the biggest problem that I see in people is called comfort. And that's where people are worried about, they don't like to leave their comfort zone. Yeah, when it comes to prepping and survival, yeah, prepping and survival doesn't mean comfort at all. Yeah, it's gonna be uncomfortable sometimes. You have to do certain things in life that you would never thought about that you would be doing, but in order to survive, you have to do whatever it takes, no
I
matter what.
agree with you. That's a great point. Like I said, I saw this weekend, and like I said, the past weekend, I don't want to like point out any particular people. I'm sleeping in this tent, in like a really big tent because of my family, which I get because I'm in a similar situation. But
Mhm.
think about it. You may want to be able to say, hey, if something goes wrong, you might want to change that up because that's not going to be realistic. You know what I mean? But I get it. And it like I'm not like I said. Somebody's going to hear this, maybe take it the wrong way. I do not want to. I never want to call somebody out or something like that. But like I said, I've been through the process. I was a beginner. I've done all these bad mistakes. I continue to make mistakes. I'm not perfect,
Right,
but every time I see something, I want to better myself because, like you said, when you get in that situation where you don't have food for a couple of days, which is very realistic, when you don't have water, how
yeah,
does it feel like?
yeah,
Like I said, I've been to a couple of schools where I got my ass handed to me, and I could handle the skills, but there was a couple of things they threw at me that I wasn't ready for, and
I
it's
mean,
awesome
I
because
can't
I
tell you
learned.
this much. I can't tell you this much, Irishman. Uh, when we walked to the desert, okay, we did run out of our food. You know, we did run out of our uh, supplies. For days, we did not have anything to eat or anything to drink. But you know, the drive that we had in ourselves to reach freedom was more than being hungry. So that is the reason why I'm saying, how bad do you want to be safe than being in your comfort, but being in a dangerous situation.
Well,
That's a big question that everybody should actually ask themselves.
let me ask you a question then.
Yeah,
You've had these experiences. Basically, what you're saying to me, because you've had these experiences,
yeah.
is where you're at now. So, what if I took away those experiences? Would you be the same person?
No, experiences always change people. The more experience you have, the better you do yourself, and you think completely different. And a lot of people, that's the biggest issue. A lot of people don't have this experience, and they don't think that way. That's it. That's a problem that we have. And that is
See,
the reason why I
and
keep
that's
talking about it all the time.
their problem. You can't give that to them. You can
Right,
talk about it, but
right.
until they have that religious moment where all of a sudden it hits them and they see the light,
I mean,
you can't give that to
all
them.
I can do is I can only give you my advice of what I have experienced. I can't give you the experience that I have. That's not what I can do.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that's why you get so frustrated, because you've experienced it.
Yeah,
Based on your experience, that this is what it's going to be like. I'm telling you, the train's coming down the tracks. Get off the tracks now while you can. And
right.
these people haven't experienced that. No, it's good. It's just an illusion. Don't worry, it'll be fine.
That's the issue. I get frustrated is a calm word. I get fucking mad as motherfucking fuck. That's how mad I get, because I've been there before, bro. I've been there before, and I have seen it. I have seen a lot of shit that I don't really talk about. But when I tell people and people don't take me serious, that does really piss me off. I'm like, God damn, what am I supposed to do that they really understand what I'm talking about? Because they really don't understand what I'm saying.
No, they don't. They don't.
You
Let
know?
me ask you a question. When you had no water, what did it feel like for over a day?
Well, my dad used to cut cactus, and there's juice in there, and that's what he would give us to drink. And it was not much, but it was better than nothing.
It kept you going.
Yeah,
I hear you. That's what I'm saying. You're lucky. You're lucky he knew something.
yeah,
Because if he didn't, you wouldn't be here right now.
right. And I mean, I made it pretty far. We made it to Turkey. Then we stayed only for a couple of weeks in Turkey, like 4 or 5 weeks, till we were able to make a next move to Germany, and that's where my parents actually stayed at.
That's good. That's some amazing story. Like I said, it's thank you for sharing that, because
No problem. And I decided for myself, because Germany was too racist for me. Too many Nazis over there back in the 90s. After they broke the wall, when the East Germans came to West Germany, so there was a big issue between the foreigners who live in Germany and the East Germans. That's when
what was their issue with you?
the issue was that I am not white, I have black hair, and I don't have blue eyes. That was the issue.
Okay, I was just curious. I'm always fascinated to see somebody else's point of view on
Right.
certain things.
Yeah.
So-
And that's when I decided actually, to move to America. I said, okay, it's a free country. There are all kinds of races. The racism shouldn't be as big as it is in Germany, and that is the reason why I moved to America.
And what do you see in America now?
Oh, the same crap that I see in Germany.
People are people, man.
Yeah,
That's what you gotta realize. People are people.
yeah.
It's funny. I had I knew somebody from Turkey.
It is a different kind of virus, I say.
Yeah, I knew somebody from Turkey, and it was interesting seeing their point of view and how they perceive people perceive them. So it was kind of interesting. It's always nice to see somebody else's point of view from a different perspective.
Right. I mean, people are a little bit slow. They live under the rock for some point, because immigration existed from the stone time. Okay, people have immigrated to so many areas. We all are human beings. This is our planet. This is where we were born. This is where we come from. So it doesn't matter where you go. This is still your planet. Just because you're moving to a different country, that doesn't mean that you're not from here. So but seems like a lot of people have issues with that when somebody enters to their region. They act like you don't belong here.
You know what? That's human nature.
Yeah, but
I remember I had to go to a
when they ask
funeral.
me where I'm from, you know what my answer is? My answer is I am from planet Earth. I don't know where the fuck you're from, but I'm from planet Earth.
It's funny. I don't live in New York City. I live in the suburbs, and I had to go into the city because my aunt died. And I was walking in a suit, and we're going to a place where they have a little bit of a after the mass and stuff. Like, hey, come, and we're going to have something to eat and stuff like that at a restaurant. And I'm walking by the Empire State Building, and somebody offered me, one of the visitors passes or whatever it was. I go, no, I'm good. So the guy asked me, where you from? Nebraska? Just I was laughing.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
was
just
born and raised in New York.
just think about this for a second, okay? Where do you think America would be without immigrants?
It'd be a whole bunch of Native Americans, which migrated from what, Russia?
I mean,
Right?
I don't think this country would be developed as much as it is now. To be honest,
No.
you
I
know,
also laugh at my parents because in this country they have an accent. So,
right?
oh, yeah, he's Irish.
Every
And then
race,
they go back home, they're Americanized. Oh, like they're not one of
right,
them anymore. So they're people without a
right,
basically a country.
right. I mean, every race did their part. Actually, it doesn't matter what race it is now. Say Spanish people, Asian people, black people, whatever. But every race has played their parts in order to develop this country wherever it is right now. And back to what you were saying, right? Like if I would go back to my country, if they would let me actually live, by the way, but they would not see me as a Persian dude. They would see me, oh yeah, he Americanized, Europeanized person, God knows whatever the fuck he is, but he's not Persian. That's how they would look at me.
It's
Um,
unfortunate.
yeah, because I am not as brainwashed as they are. That's why. And it
Hey,
has
you know what? Look at people in this country. You talk about brainwashing. If you turn on the news, there's a certain perspective that's shown on the news every day. It's not necessarily 100% accurate. So that happens everywhere.
see now that is the reason why now most people would not understand this, but when they say where are you from, I say I am from planet Earth. I don't say from what country because I don't have a country. I don't belong to no country because I am not welcome in my own country. I am not welcome in this country. I am welcome nowhere. So I am a homeless. I am a homeless person. I have no country that I belong to because I am not accepted in no country.
Wrong. You're American.
No
Nobody likes
matter where I'm
everybody
from.
from America.
You know what I mean? Like when I lived in Germany, they called me, oh yeah, sand nigger, black hat, terrorist, they called me all kinds of names. You know what I mean? But um, like even if I would go in my own country, my own people would not even if they government wise if they would not do anything to me, they would let me actually live in that country, they would not accept me as the person I am because I am too smart for them, or I have a too big mouth, or whatever. For whatever reason, they would say something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it happens everywhere, my friends. It happens here,
Yeah,
happens there,
yeah,
happens
that
everywhere.
happens everywhere. Yeah, and I'm not the only race who feels that way. You know, I'm sure there are other nations from different countries who feel exactly the same way.
Every race, and I say every race, at some time or point,
Right.
feels like they're
If
isolated.
it was up to me, if it was up to me, like say for instance, I was the big boss of the United Nations, right? I would say, you know, we are all humans. We are all from planet Earth. No matter, yeah, we might have different shapes and different accent, different color, but we are all the same people. Um, but this is the biggest issue that they have created. They have created racism. They have created this bullshit between different colors and different accents and all this stuff. But on the end of the day, we all bleed the same color. So I don't understand why we have to go through this issue with each other. You know, because we not the problem. Because the people who are sitting on top of us are the biggest problem here. And
Yeah.
that's what most people don't understand. And this is the reason why on YouTube, for example, you know, YouTube is the perfect example for that. People are not getting along with each other. You know, oh yeah, oh I was brainwashed like this, you were brainwashed like that. Well, guess what? We were both brainwashed. So how would we wake up from that brainwashing crap? You know, but that's not how people look at it. You know,
It's okay to have different opinions on stuff. It's not okay to insult each other. I mean,
right,
like, you can have
right,
your own opinion. Look, there's Republicans, Democrats, and everything in between.
right,
And if you think a certain way, I may disagree with you, but I shouldn't be insulting you to get my point. And I feel strongly about certain things, and that's my
mhm,
opinion. That's
right. No,
exactly what it is, opinion.
I understand, but I think you know there is too much hate on YouTube, um, especially because YouTube became a big platform. I believe that a lot of people are hating each other instead of really believing that we are the people. We need to stick together in order to fight the bad instead. You know what I mean? But
Well, you know what? If I don't like you, like, let's say your show, I don't like what you're saying. You know what? I just don't tune in. I go somewhere else. That's it. I don't have to insult you. You're
right.
entitled to your opinion. I just don't agree with you. That's all.
Right, but that's unfortunately that's not the way it is. You know,
No.
they like to argue with each other and calling their names and whatever. You know, now see me personally, I don't go really on other people's channels because I know most of the time they don't agree with what I'm saying. You know, and I know where this is going to end. It's just going to end up heading each other and trying to fight each other. What is the point of that? I mean, people need to understand. I haven't done anything to you. I didn't create this issue that we are living in right now. Man, I'm living in the same boat like you. You know, even if you don't believe it. But hey. You have to pay the same price that I'm paying right now. You know what
Yeah,
I
no,
mean?
I hear you. I hear you. I mean, think about it. We're doing the same stuff, maybe differently, but the same stuff. We should
Yeah,
all be kind of trying to, you know what, even if I don't agree with what you're doing, hey, Pete, I think you're doing this wrong. I'm saying not to put you down. I'm just saying it because, hey, I want you to accomplish your goals. Maybe try this, maybe try that, and vice versa.
right. But
But
I mean, it is. I have realized this, especially here on several platforms, not just here, but even on other platforms, that you have to be very careful what you're saying to the next person. Uh, just a good morning means, oh, I'm gonna kill you, or I'm gonna beat you up, or something. It turned really bad. Like, I understand, the situation that we are in. There's more pressure heading towards us financially, emotionally. Um, but hey, I'm living the same way as you do. People need to wake up and realize that we have to stand together in order to make it to the next thing.
Yeah, I hear you. I think you know what I've learned this now, and it's probably one of my weakest things. I take things at heart. So when somebody says something to me, I take it really personal. I remember on Instagram, I put on I actually threw it up one day real quick. It was something. It was a trap. Um, just
Mhm.
to show people I needed something to put up, so I put it up, and I got fairly fairly good kind of views off it. I was like surprised. I didn't expect it to be. I think I
Mhm.
got like something like 16,000 views or something like that. And I got one comment, one comment, and basically the comment was, "Oh, what are you going to catch with that trap? A gnat, a fly, or this or that, the other thing?" And I'm
Mhm.
like, I took it personally. I'm like, why is he saying
Right.
that? It's a decent trap. To tell you the truth, it's not even my trap. It's not like I created this thing. It's a trap that Dave Canterbury does, which is one of
Right.
the best guys out there.
I
So I
mean,
look at his page,
the best
and
advice I can give you, the best advice I can give you, and I don't know for how long you've been on my channel, but um, as long as I am on this channel, I have dealt with a lot of fucking bullshit. Trust me.
well, what I was
Uh,
trying to say is when I looked at this guy's page, it was nothing but Pokemon. So
yeah,
I started laughing like
people
this
have
guy's
threatened
insulting
me.
me,
People
and
have
I
threatened me. People have ran background checks on me. People have mentioned, oh, I'm gonna kill you. Oh, I'm going to deport your ass, and I make sure you never come back here, and blah blah blah.
for
Man,
what?
I have heard a lot of bullshit, but from my experience, I can tell you only one thing. Don't take everything serious what people say.
Oh no! Once I saw that
Don't
page,
talk about
I
the
was
other.
gonna respond, but I stopped myself. I was gonna say, well, it won't catch a Pokemon, but it's pretty good with small game.
Right.
I was just laughing at this guy because this guy was so ridiculous. He's just trying to rile me up, and I finally realized that. And hey, it comes with the territory, man. He's got
Right.
to be
Right.
able to kind of dismiss these people.
Everybody in the chat who are listening, actually, hey, don't listen what other people say. Do whatever you do, what you think is right for you and for your family. Trust me. So, just because one person disagree with you doesn't mean you are wrong. Um, that's all I can say about that. Anyway, I've been talking for a while with Irishman. Hey, how's everybody doing in the chat? I didn't want to ignore you guys. Hope you guys are doing okay. Don't tell me you pushed the wrong button again.
I'm sorry. Hey Pete, I got to call it a day.
All
I got
righty.
things to do tomorrow morning, but it was great talking to you. I
Yeah.
appreciate you having
And
me on, and good luck, and keep on keeping on.
right. I hope I see you soon. Take it easy,
Yeah,
brother.
Pete. Bye.
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 How you doing, Ricky? Do I have to drop you the link, Ricky? So yeah, I mean that's some issues we are seeing actually, and I think um, some people have to address this actually. You can't just ignore that. We do have to see what is really going on. I think it's important to talk about this. All right, good night, the Prepared Irishman. It was nice talking to you. I hope I see you soon. Man, give me a second. I need to check on the food very quick. I've been cooking for a while now. This will take forever. Alrighty, I'm back. Sorry about that. So anyway, now I don't know if you guys heard about this, but I heard like there will be a global depression by 2025, and I do see that happening because of what's going on. Like more businesses are shutting down. Um, More businesses are not making enough money. People don't spend enough money in order to um, stay in the economic circle, I should say. Um, I do see more businesses are shutting down. Um, Now you can comment below and tell me if you see anything different, but that's how I see it. I do believe that we're gonna see another a big depression coming towards us. What's your opinion about that? And by the way, how you doing, Alicat, Ricky, Tim? If you're still around, I don't know if you're still here. What else we got here that I didn't even see? Oh, Guru, I don't know if you are still here. Did I miss anybody? Oh, Nisara. Oh yeah, Tom did say he's gonna leave. Yeah, so yeah, the link is up there. If you feel like you wanna jump in the box, you are very welcome to come up. Just click on the link and come up. But I think that we have to prepare ourselves more serious than we do actually. That's just the way I see it. some people might agree and some people might disagree with, but I think we are heading towards a really, really worse situation. Now you can say, you are prepared or whatever, and you have your prepping stuff and all this, but that's not going to last forever. At some point, you are going to run out. So, um, in my opinion, that's just my opinion. I really believe, you do need to have people around you, people that you can rely on. And I'm not saying, just go and pick some random people, oh yeah, we are buddies now or so. No, I'm talking about people that you can actually really trust to a certain point, that you say, okay, when something happens, I can really actually put my life in somebody's hand. He's going to really take care of me, that type of people. Unfortunately, they are not, the peak is not as big, there are not too many people you can actually rely on, yeah. I heard that so many times, oh yeah, you are my friend, and oh, you are my this and you are my that. But when shit comes to shit, that person suddenly said, oh, I don't know you. Hey, wait a minute, what happened? I thought we were friends. I thought we have each other's back and stuff like that, So and I get it, it's really difficult. It's very difficult, especially in a time like this. It's difficult to get together with certain people that you would think, okay, this dude, he do got my back or so, Um, um, I don't know, it's really hard. I have to say that, in the beginning, I would say, trust is good, control is better, right? Like, what I mean by that is, hey, I do trust you, but hey, I'm still gonna watch your ass, whatever you do, But at this point, it's really hard to find anybody that you would think, oh, I can't trust this person or so, Hey, unfortunately, there are two things that have something very in common, and that's like, you know, um, when it comes to inflation and um, um, what's the word for this? When it comes to famine, right? That's when trust and everything else gonna fly away. There's no way anybody gonna trust anybody, because at this point you just worry about yourself, and that's the sad part about it. So there is no trust in this year anymore. It's very hard. Um, I don't know if that word actually should exist, to be honest. Because in the beginning, and I'm sure everybody who's been on my channel for years, uh, they know that that's what I always believed in. I believed, yeah, trust is good and control is better. But the more and more I see how the economy is going down, the less and less there is actually trust in people. I don't know. Anyway, I appreciate for listening to me and my bullshit, and uh, I enjoyed myself talking to you guys, and thanks for listening. And hopefully, I see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, stay blessed, and especially stay strong. And as always, 300 out, out, out.